Oh, I look amazing, don't I? Fashion. Oh, the head. Hello and welcome to the KenOhwee Channel, where we talk about toys, games, cards and more. And today is going to be another exciting episode where I'm going to be talking about the DC icons, Darkseid and the Unholy Grail, which is his daughter. Man, God, look at this figure, it's huge. This is a really huge box. I could barely fit in the frame. I'm glad I managed to fit it in. And yeah, and that is Darkseid and all his mighty monstrous glory, and his daughter, the Unholy Grail, with her. My God, a super large scythe. Look at that weapon, it's huge. And you have all the accessories in there, so awesome looking figure. I can't wait to get into it. But before we do, let's look at the back of the box. We have the two deluxe figures in this line. We have the Batgirl with the motorcycle and also the Darkseid and her daughter Grail. So these two are the deluxe sets and that's available in this series at this point in time. So without further ado, let's crack open at this massive monstrous figure. Let's do it. And here's looking closer at Darkseid. My God, look at the sculpt. I really like how this figure looks. It looks scary, it looks menacing. All the cracks and all the, you look at his perfectly white teeth. Yeah, looking at him is like I did something wrong already. I'm sorry, master. Forgive me. So yeah, I really like how the face sculpt turned out. It looks really nice, really terrifying. It looks really menacing, and the paint application for this figure is really nice as well. Although there is a few paint blotches here and there. For example, like I was doing the ab crunch, there's a bit of a yellow right there. So that's really unfortunate. But apart from that, everything else, the paint application turns out splendid. I like how the metallic looks. So the metallics are around the shoulder pads and around the collar right there, and even some on the gloves as well. So it's sort of this, like a little bit on the all this insignia, the Darkseid insignia around the knee pads and stuff. So these are all a little bit of a metallic finish, and as opposed to the matte finish. So it has a bit of a contrast with the matte blue finish on his suit. So that's really nice. And there's a bit of a wash here and there as well. You can see the muscles are all defined in this figure. And look at the six pack. That's really rock hard. My God. And that's a soft rubber as well. And there's a bit of a scratches here and there. It looks like he's been to war and stuff. So that's really nice. And looking at the side, look at all the cracks around his armor. And at the back, look at the back muscles has been sculpted so well as well, and a bit of a wash, a lot of wash as well. Look at his arms. My God, he trains his bicep and his triceps really well. So this is a good-looking, monstrous, muscular-looking villain. So yeah, and I like how they modeled his fingers, and he even have his fingernails modeled in as well. So it's all good. And going down, you have the boots, you have all the scratches and the scuffs and all the battle he has been through. Everyone's been attacking his leg. Bring down the monster, attack the legs. So that's where all the scuffs and all the scratches are. But of course, being Darkseid, all he needs are his red, scary looking eyes. Look at his thighs, people. He squats a lot. Everyone should follow him. So my only concern for the articulation of this figure is that hopefully that the leg does not go loose, because you need the legs to make this big figure stand. So I hope the joint stands the test of time. So it's a good thing that this figure has some weight as well. It's pretty heavy, this figure, so it's a good thing it has really big boots, big feet to make it stable. I'm really glad that they paid attention to the little details, and overall as a huge figure, it looks really amazing. So for the articulation of this massive figure, the head can look left and right. The head does move up slightly and moves down just slightly, so not much, and it can pivot from left to right. So the shoulder pads are movable. The arm is on a ratchet joint. It can move out that far. It does not have a bicep swivel, unfortunately. It can do the 360, of course. It does have double jointed elbow, but although because of the massive bicep, look at his biceps, so it does look like a single jointed elbow. So, but it is double jointed from the joint right there. But his wrist does move 360 and does move up and down. And it also does have the waist swivel. He can bend back pretty far, and he also has the ab crunch, so he can crunch about that much. And you never thought that a figure this huge would have an ab crunch, so I'm really happy that this figure has an ab crunch, and it can swivel to the left and right as well, so there's a lot of ab movement. No matter how rock hard these abs are, he can still crunch, so that's awesome. And these pieces are, since because it's a more of like a soft rubber, it allows for that crunch to happen, so that's really great. He can kick up that far, and he can do the Bruce Lee kick on the side, so that's really great. And on the back, not much because of his solid butt. He does have a thigh cut up there, so he must have had a thigh swivel, but for mine it's really tight. So I've tried moving it, but I do not really want to damage my figure, so I believe there is a thigh swivel. And he has double jointed knees as well, but of course due to the bulk of his thigh, because he squats too much and his calves are way too huge, it still has a considerable amount of knee movement, so that's really great. And his feet does move up and down, and he has ankle pivot. My god, look, I've dislocated Darkseid's feet. Oh. And as for the accessories for Darkseid, it only comes with a pair of hands, so the open-handed hands, but that's fine, you know, they paid a lot of attention to the figure itself. This is an amazing figure, so I don't mind. What else could they do, like effects part for the eyes, I mean, but you know, just it's fine. And they did the hands really well. You do even have the fingernails all there and a bit of a wash to show like some shading between all the joints, between all the fingers, and the armor, and the metallic finish is really nice, and again, lots of scratches and scars. So a really nice pair of hands to grab on all Darkseid's enemy and choke them to death. Choke. So even though Darkseid has, you know, a little accessories, they do provide more accessories for Unholy Grail. And here is looking at her daughter Grail, looking all menacing just like her father. Look at the eye. So yeah, taking a closer look. So in terms of the sculpt, yeah, they really did a good job on the sculpt. They even sculpted her bosoms very well. So yeah, proportion wise, her legs are extremely long. Look at that. You know, can't really notice it, you know, from afar. So she does look very sexy, very muscular at the same time. Look, they even modeled and sculpted her flowy black hair. Don't know what devilish shampoo she uses that keeps her hair all shiny and menacing. Her Head and Shoulders Devil Edition. And then on the side there you can see even her shaven head is modeled in, and all the paint application on her turned out really well as well. And then you have yeah, these things are just like her father. It's also made out of soft plastic, so it's movable, so they can have a lot of leg articulation down there. And then yeah, all these gears and chains all around her. These little details have been painted out as well, the little silver on the buckle as well, so that's really nice. So yeah, it turned out really well, Grail. Looking really sexy, awesome, and menacing, scary. You looking at me? Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? So moving on to the articulation of Unholy Grail, she can look left and right really well. She can look up about that far. She can look down. She has a neck pivot as well, so there's a lot of head articulation, but because of the fact of a long hair on this side, she can't really pivot to the left side, but it's okay. She still can pivot to the right, so what's up? You don't like my hair? Anyway, moving on. Her arms can move out that far. She can do the 360. And she has a bicep swivel. That's really nice. Her father doesn't, but her father has bigger biceps, of course. And she has double jointed elbows. And her wrist does move up and down, and it does turn 360. So she has a lot of waist swivels. She can do them to left and right. She has a waist pivot just a little bit. She can crunch about that far, and she can arch back about that far, so she can arch back really far. So, and she can do the Bruce Lee kick, so she can do the split. She can kick up about that far, so she has a thigh cut, and it's just like her father, is quite tight as well. So but she does have a thigh swivel, and she has double jointed knees, and just like her father, she has a solid butt as well, so she can only kick back that far. The leg does move up and down, but the leg doesn't really turn for my figure, because you know, it seems that something's gonna break, so I'm not gonna aggravate it any further. And also for the hands, it does come with a pair of open-handed hands. So the funny thing is that the left grabbing hand is actually more crunched in than the right grabbing hand. So if you put the scythe into the left grabbing hand, it's actually much tighter than the right one. So yes, unfortunately, you do need two hands to make sure that Grail grabs her weapon stably. If not, it's just gonna fall off over time. Since the hands in the Grail in my figure is really tight, so as I was pulling it out, there was a lot of paint chips that came off from the hand, but it's just more on the joint itself. It's not on the hand, so that's fine. And if you want to put Grail's drape all over her, all you gotta do is just remove the head, so it's connected to a ball joint right there. All you gotta do is just slip the cape right over and just connect the head back. Grail with a cape. Oh, I look amazing, don't I? Fashion. Oh, the head. So, in summary, so yeah, Grail does have an ankle pivot, but like I said earlier, I didn't want to aggravate, in fear that I might, break her legs off, so I'm just not going to twist it a lot. And as I pose Darkseid more, I just wish he had a bicep swivel so that, his arm can arch inwards. But apart from that, those are just like little minor gripes, as an overall package. As a figure itself, it is an amazing package. I mean, for Darkseid, really amazing figure for such a huge figure. The fact that he has an ab crunch, wow, that really amazes me as well. So hopefully the future big figures have a bicep swivel, and his articulation, he's gonna be an example for big huge figures to come. As for Grail, the unholy Grail, just like her father, great paint application, great sculpt. She looks as menacing as her dad. Look at that, like father like daughters, both look scary, menacing, and they both look powerful. And the amount of accessories for Grail is a lot, Darkseid not so much, but as an overall package, it's still a decent amount of accessories given to this package. So as a package as a whole, this is an amazing package, and I really like it. I'm gonna conclude at that. Thank you very much, you guys, for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you guys. Man, I really need to find a girlfriend. Whoa, who's that? Hubba hubba. Hey there, you hot devilish looking thing. Wanna go out on a date with me? I know a place with a really banging chimichanga. Sure thing, honey. But you gotta ask my father first. Your daddy? You want me to ask your daddy? Who's your daddy? He's right there. Meet my father.
I see you have your arm around my daughter.
Your father seems really... What the f***? What happened to my arm? Looking for this, honey? That hand is getting more action than I am. I think she likes me. Click here to enjoy more videos.